So just to help you keep track of how much work you've already done in Philemon using only four observational clues, and there are many more. You've not only observational clues, but also listening to the book read out loud. You've heard the book read out loud several times. You've read the book yourself. You've made a list of things that jumped out at you. You've narrowed that list to 5 if you had more than 5. You've both identified and examined all the repetitions in Philemon. You've identified and examined contrast in Philemon. You've identified and examined comparisons in Philemon, and you've identified all the who's in Philemon, and you've examined 5 of those who's: Paul, Philemon, Onesimus, Apphia, and Archippus. Okay, and you've had me share with you my own examine of the 3 most important characters in that story: Paul, Philemon, and Onesimus. So now we're going to move to the observational clue of where. Where. And oftentimes, well, I'll say sometimes, the where is very, very important. I would say, generally speaking, the who's are a little more important, but especially in the Gospels, sometimes the wheres are pretty important because they help us keep track of what's happening. So where was Jesus when this happened? We don't always pay attention to the fact, well, he had gotten into a boat and gone over there. Well, where was there? And who was there? So that helps us know that context, okay? So wheres are pretty important. And wheres are fairly obvious. They can be geographical locations, but they can also be sort of, I don't know how to say, the wheres will be pretty obvious to you. And we'll walk through the wheres in the book of Philemon. I want you to do your own work with the wheres first. There aren't very many wheres in the book of Philemon, so I'm going to go ahead and give you the examine questions now. And then I'll ask you to go through the book of Philemon and do identify and examine at the same time. So if you notice a where in the book of Philemon, write it down and discern all the verses it appears in, and then do the examine questions for that where before you go on to identify any other wheres in the book of Philemon and examine them. Okay? So the examine questions for the wheres: what does the text say in reference to that location? What does the text say about it? And then secondly, does the text attribute any description or meaning to this location that would not have already been answered in the first question? Okay? So basically these 2 questions get at, what's the text say about it? Okay? What's the text say about this where? So go through the book of Philemon and both identify and examine all the wheres in Philemon that you observe. Okay? And when we come back, I'll share with you my own work in Philemon, and you'll be able to see, well, did you find all the ones I did? Did I find all the ones you did? I might not have found them all. Okay? So enjoy your work with your wheres, and we'll be back.